Pisces, the theme of your reading today is number 36. Shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. So I feel like you're moving through a pretty heavy emotional wave. It could be melancholy or grief. I keep on hearing despondency, confusion, anxiety, overwhelm. Whatever it is for you, it's just this wave of emotional heaviness. And Spirit is saying, it's in moments like these, which we all experience, it's in moments like these that you actually have the greatest opportunity to connect with and understand your own light. Because light shines brightest in the dark, right? And your light, Pisces, is completely tied to your creativity. You see how she's holding an easel and a paintbrush. And the background is that famous Vincent van Gogh painting. I think it's Vincent van Gogh. Spirit is saying, do not diminish the power of your creative genius. We're all creative. All human beings are creative, right? But there is something very particular and very rare and special about your capacity to creatively express unseen realms and unspoken things. You can express the unexpressible. You have that power, you have that ability, unlike maybe any other sign. And this is in large part because you have access to certain liminal spaces and spiritual realms. Other people may be able to access them as well, but no other sign feels quite as at home in these liminal, unseen spaces as you. And your ability to swim in these spaces is a huge part of what feeds your creative genius. So I know things might be heavy right now, but I would invite you, and Spirit invites you, to do whatever you can to creatively express yourself, just for yourself, okay? So whatever is the path of least resistance, whatever is within reach, whether it's painting or drawing, writing a poem, sculpting clay, gluing sticks together, I have no idea, rearranging the furniture in your room, anything goes. Singing, dancing, anything. Just lean into whatever feels doable right now and express yourself to the fullest extent. I would ask you, if you had to draw what you feel like right now, what would you draw? And if you don't know what to do or how to creatively express yourself, go with that. I just gave you a prompt. If you were to, it doesn't matter if you've never drawn before in your life, if you were to draw how you feel, what would it look like? Go draw it. See what happens. There's a kind of alchemy that occurs when you give your emotions space to express. Okay. Now, at the bottom of the deck, you've got number 37, nature communication, flower energies, fairy energies, and elemental messengers. And I just feel like this card is confirmation that underlying everything, you have this incredible access to the unseen. And it's good to lean into that in these times. So maybe connect with nature, maybe go for a walk, or connect with your spirit guides, connect with Fae energy, connect with your dreamscapes. Okay. There's just something so incredibly powerful about your spiritual connection and your ability to funnel that into healing. Creative healing. Ooh, creative healing. I'm going to have to think about that. That feels significant. Okay, let's go into tarot. I am using the Darkwood Tarot, which now makes sense to me. Why I was called to this deck for you, because you're navigating some shadow. I feel like these emotions that are coming up for you, it's not the first time they've come up, and the reason why they're coming up is because they're ready to be processed and released. So by definition, that means that these emotions have probably been suppressed up to this point. But now there's some kind of shift in your energy, and there's an opening for you to really deeply alchemize and release these emotions. Okay. Show me Pisces. Show me the energy, general energy of Pisces, please, Spirit. You know, two of my favorite artists of all time ever were Pisces. Edward Gorey and Edgar End. Edgar End was the father of Michael End, who wrote The Never-Ending Story. Fun fact, both were Pisces. Show me Pisces. Ah, the High Priestess. Yeah, you are feeling your feels. You're feeling your feels. This is just a beautiful representation of this blend of like the human emotion with the spiritual connection. Yeah, there's a bridge here that wants to be made between the spiritual and the human. Well, it's almost like your emotions may be, your human emotions are a bridge to your spiritual connection, and vice versa. Your spiritual connection is a bridge into healing your human emotions. Your intuition is also telling you something. Page of Swords. Knight of Wands. Very interesting. Okay, yeah. I feel like your intuition is telling you to say something to someone else. This is very specific now. Maybe this is only for some of you, but the first thing that's hitting me, your intuition is telling you, well, maybe defend yourself against someone or speak your truth to someone. Maybe what you need to release is a relationship or a particular form of a relationship. So that's for some of you. And for others of you, if that does not resonate, maybe this Page of Swords with the Knight of Wands is about communicating creatively. Yeah. Finding a way to creatively communicate how you feel. Just for yourself. Again, just for yourself. But either way, within you, you know intuitively that you're being guided to not stifle these emotions or allow them to be suppressed again. They must be spoken, they must be communicated out loud. Maybe to another person, but at least to yourself. What is the challenge that Pisces is facing right now, Spirit? What's the primary challenge that Pisces is facing? It's time for a new cycle. A new cycle. What's the challenge? Page of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Three of Wands. The challenge is being able to start a new cycle. through the release of these emotions rather than stifling them or swallowing them, letting them fully process. The Three of Wands is about looking to the horizon, expanding your horizons, being empty enough to be ready for more. Being empty enough to be ready for more. Yes, these emotions must be released. For those of you who are resonating with the need to tell somebody something, it feels like you may try to communicate with them, but they're just, okay, well, the phrase "a stick in the mud" is coming to mind. Their energy just feels kind of heavy. Their energy feels stuck and stubborn, maybe, distractible, unmoving. So you may like come at this person fully connected to the truth of your emotions, and you're expressing them, and you open your heart and you let it out, you tell them what you need to say, and then it just kind of lands with a thud. Well, if that is for you, if this is the case for you, you may need to find a way to create resolution for yourself without needing them to also have resolution. Their own sense of resolution is on them, but you can find resolution within yourself for sure. Okay, so don't get tied up in their emotions or whatever's going on with them. I don't know what's going on with them. Okay, but if this is not about another person for you, the challenge is simply not blocking your creative flow. Not blocking your creative flow. Once you're in a flow, I feel like your energy wants to move pretty quickly and unimpeded. It's almost like you go into your like creative cave and like nobody can bother you, right? Because you're so in the flow. Let yourself do that. Just, it's okay. Like, be that stereotypical crazy genius artist who just locks themselves in their room for a day. Please eat and stay hydrated. But you know what I mean. You can do that. That's how your energy works when you're in the creative flow. So don't block it, okay? What's the advice? What's the advice for Pisces? Right there. I'm seeing 444 in my mind's eye. Ooh, the Lovers. This is choosing, actually doing kind of like a mental flip here. And rather than just seeing your emotions as something that's happening to you that you have no control over, choose them. Choose your emotions. Choose to feel them deeply, because when you do that, they fuel your creativity. Queen of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Use what you have. Use what you have right here, right now. You don't need to go buy anything. You don't need new art supplies. You don't need any money. You don't need anything. Use what you have immediately in front of you to creatively express yourself, okay? There is a lot of fire and passion that is like brimming inside of you. I know it sounds kind of weird, but the melancholy or the heaviness, whatever it is that you're feeling, overwhelm, even grief, it's a kind of passion. Heightened emotions of any kind, you could say, are a form of passion that are worthy of animation and expression. Okay. All right, let's get a journal prompt for you from my deck. Journal prompt for Pisces. We've got a few that came out. No, we're going to go with this first one because it's the first one I saw. It's also number 10, which is about completing a cycle. If you could ask one person one question, who would it be and what question would you ask? This person could be past, not yet born, or alive. Anything goes. Anything goes. If you could ask one person one question, what would it be? Very interesting. Maybe the person you want to ask something is this person. I don't know. Or maybe it's someone you admire. Maybe you have a favorite artist. Since I mentioned some of my own, maybe you have a favorite artist, someone who has passed, someone from history, right? If you could ask them one question, what would it be? See where that question takes you. Okay, I feel like there's a lot in there, and it will, whatever you feel compelled to ask them is certainly an indication of what matters to you at this time. And who you feel called to ask a question of is also indicative of what matters to you at this time. So for each of you, that will kind of take you down a different rabbit hole, all right? Let's get a closing message from a Compendium of Witches Oracle. Number 33, pruning. Release that dead weight. Snip it off. Snip it. Did this come up for Taurus? This may have come up for Taurus. It was either Taurus or Libra, but I'm pretty sure it was Taurus. Cutting off the dead weight. Well, unexpressed emotions are kind of like dead weight. That's for sure. So maybe it's just this emotional pruning that you need to do, or maybe the emotional pruning will then also lead to some necessary pruning in your life, a transformation or an ending in a relationship, walking away from something or someone that no longer serves you. Let's see what the guidebook says, even though I know what pruning means. All right. Unnecessity, redirection, and strengthening. The pruning card invites us to reflect on what would benefit from cutting. Pruning is not about forcing the plant to conform to our own plans, but knowing it well enough to judge how to help it reach its full potential by removing unnecessary and detrimental parts. It's a careful, targeted, and intentional process that will result in a stronger and more balanced plant. These simple yet fundamental garden principles can be applied to our lives too. Identifying the diseased, unproductive, unwanted things in our lives can help redirect our energies where they're needed most and where they will bear fruit. Kind of speaks for itself. Something just occurred to me as I was reading this. It takes energy to suppress energy. It takes energy to suppress emotions, which are energy, right? So I feel like having a creative self-expression practice, like not just doing it once today and hoping that like that will solve everything, but a consistent practice just for you, just for its own sake. It doesn't matter if nobody ever sees anything that you create. It doesn't matter if it never makes you money or turns into this creative career. It's for you. That is enough of a reason to do this. Establishing a creative daily practice is probably fundamental to your health, because it keeps the energy moving, flowing, and processing up and out, up and out, up and out. So that way, it's super ironic, but the more you express energy rather than stuffing it down, the more energy you'll have. Yeah, okay. All right, Pisces, I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to check out the description box where I will put this journal prompt as well as several others. They'll just help you to process all of this and take your inner work a little bit deeper. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.